And here we are for Cup semi-final action. Welcome back to Twin Elm Rugby Park for the NACRA Rugby Sevens Championship on Rogers TV. Doug Cross along with Pierce Higgins and Fred Asseline bringing you this Cup semi-final action between hometown heroes Canada and the upstart Jamaican team. And this will be a fun match to watch. We've enjoyed watching Jamaica. Canada's been clinical and very good in their approach. This should be a cracker of a semi-final.
I think it will be, and I expect Jamaica to throw everything at Canada. That's their form. They'll go for broke here, Jamaica, in this game, and I expect at the end, of course, Canada's skill and balance and everything else that goes into the Canadian team will prove too much for them.
Fred, would you say this is the fastest team Canada will face this tournament?
Other than USA, possibly. You know what, personally, I think, Jamaica did the right things to get into this position, but I don't think today this Jamaican team will be able to upset Canada.
Kieran Hearn will get this underway. A team made up of Dell, a Moonlight Trainer, Duke, Mack, Hearn, and Hassler to start with a great supporting cast coming off the bench. Hearn kicks it deeper than his normal routine, taken by Mohento Thompson. Bit of a flailing pass there, and Jamaica immediately under pressure, forcing them to kick into touch, which you don't see early in a rugby game of sevens. There's great opportunity for Canada with the lineup, Pearson.
Well, there's the pressure that they put on Jamaica, and they had very little option. They were caught in the corner, so it was either get tackled into touch or kick it into touch and get away from the goal line, and they took that option. You see very quick pressure there by Canada's number 6, Sean Duke.
Throw to the front there, Nyanyak Dalla gets it. Hearn now, long looping pass. Trainer cuts it out wide. It's one hopper to Duke, and now that's Hassler. He gets linked up with Trainer, and Hassler just whips around the end. And boy, he's been exciting to watch all weekend long, Fred.
Well, definitely. I mean, this kid, he's on the up and up, and we're going to see a lot more of him for sure. Here we see on the replay, Sean Duke not stressed out at all. He knew Hassler was coming around and just froze his defender, and that's it, little loop around try.
Duke looked like he was at practice. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this again.
Yeah,
and,
very relaxed.
No excitement from scoring either by Hassler. It's like they've all been there and done that. So
Phil Mack making the conversion here. It all started from a beautiful pass from Phil Mack, about 25-meter pass straight under the hands, and it starts off good.
Canadian team manager Brian Hunter commenting that this is a much bigger Phil Mack that's come back in terms of muscle mass. He's really hit the weight room and improved his approach in the game overall as a student of the game. Kieran Hearn now will kick to the left side, and he has not done a good job in that one. It goes into touch after bouncing in play, and it'll be an indirect penalty at half.
Very uncharacteristic by Hearns, but obviously in the initial kickoff, he went long, and that was strategic to pin him in their own half,
And it worked very well, resulting in a try. Yep. 2 minutes, a minute later.
Jamaica's O'Shane Eddy trying to make something happen now, chipping through, but the sweeper, Phil Mack, will grab that up and tries to get around the corner, and he's done that now with the stop-start movement. And now O'Shane Eddy trying to get him. Phil Mack will go all the way, and he just kept fending them off and fending them off. And what a tremendous individual try. He was looking to pass, but it just couldn't happen, so ultimately he ran out of field and had to score.
Yeah, that was a beauty. Here we see him. Watch this beautiful fend. Yeah, right straight in the face. 2 fends. Couple of people had a whack at him, they just couldn't bring him down.
Fred, I don't think you do 2 fend-offs in one try run like that. That's pretty good, in 5 seconds.
I've only done 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, yeah? Okay, we'll have to
I've had a lot of fun with the straight arms, the fast guys, we can kind of time ourselves,
Right.
And Phil there, I think, saw him coming, but no, I'm having fun with you as you're having fun with me. No, it's that was a very, very beautiful individual effort by Phil Mack.
Canada's try and conversion by number 7.
14-0 for Canada now, and Hearn will get that started. I love how the ball's always back at center, so we're not chasing it around that. Nice tight operation, military precision, getting this tournament moving along. Hearn now kicking much better than his previous effort. Jamaica will get that. Now Trainer's in front of
Well, the referee's given the knock on, so interesting to see here down here in front of us on the Canadian bench, the Canadian national head coach, senior men's coach, Kieran Crowley.
Yes.
First time to see him on the bench this week.
He was at the CRC game, Canadian Rugby Championship game between Ontario and the Rock yesterday, won by Ontario in Oakville. So he's got a suitcase with him doing some selection work this weekend.
Set.
O'Shane Eddy to put this in. Big push by Canada, almost wheels that before the ball can come out. But Jamaica getting it nonetheless. Orlando Jones doing well to get that out wide.
Canada putting a lot of pressure.
Perhaps committing too many people, though. They've got 4 in there.
We're moving.
And Jamaica still moving forward to the maul.
Red
But
11 from the side.
and now offside by
Hassler.
Hassler coming in from the side. So opportunity here for Jamaica to get something cooking. So sliding sideways, trying the Jimmy kick there. Now it's O'Shane Eddy, tackled by Trainer, and he knocks it on. Advantage being played. Hearn, free pass, and Canada will make something of this. Advantage been gained as you hear the referee call it out. And now it's Duke. Duke around the corner. And they managed to get a leg wrapped up. Miss out pass to Mack. Moonlight's on the field. Now Hearn. Hearn's wrapped up. Jamaica really committing to the tackle. Canada not throwing this ball around with abandon like they have in other games. Hassler now chips ahead for Duke. Duke is going to get a one-hop right into his hands. And whoa, that is pretty stuff. The crowd oohing and awing at that one. Well-timed kick, Fred.
Yeah, this what I see is this was probably planned in advance. These two guys saw there's no sweeper in behind, and they knew exactly what they're doing. Any top sides can just call plays on the fly. You can hear that crowd. They enjoyed that beautiful play.
It was just so snappy. He got it in his hands, touched it down, and again, Duke just so matter-of-fact about it all. He's really something to behold. Moonlight coming off and Dalla coming off for Canada.
Canada showing a variety.
No, it came to the edge. I thought they were coming off. Sorry. Looked like they were both coming off, but they're staying on.
Canada showing a variety of their skills in this tournament, but in the later games you're seeing some new stuff coming out. So I think they're holding back some of their tricks for the end.
Phil Mack doing the kicking now. Hearns come off.
There we go, came off again.
Hassler, big banging run. He's knocked a Jamaican to the ground. That's O'Shane Eddy that's down holding his head. A shoulder going into his head from Jeff Hassler. Now it's Moonlight one-on-one. He's always going to win that mismatch size-wise, and he scores on the left side. Hassler down, or who's that down as well for Canada? So Hassler went down on that same contact with O'Shane Eddy. Let's look at the replay here.
I think they bang heads.
That's the try.
No,
that's the
the
completion
try
of the movement.
Moonlight.
Yeah.
But in the previous time, I think Freddie might be right here. We might have had a clash of heads there.
Yeah.
The trainer suggesting that Hassler's going to have to come off, whether it's for blood.
Yep. I saw that new rule in the Super 15 and all that. Now that you have a concussion, you can come off for 5 minutes. You have a 5-minute assessment.
Yeah.
I wonder, is that in yet in the sevens?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's in all forms of rugby now.
Okay.
Isabel Grande did ask for a blood sub in this particular instance, but that is a great protocol as we hit halftime, 24-0. And, concussions have ended a lot of great careers. And so the management of concussions in this sport, especially, very important.
24-0 over Jamaica.
Well, and it gives, you're not under pressure to say I'm staying on. You have a few minutes to think about it and even be assessed. Obviously,
exactly.
That's
the plan. Is that the players
assess somebody else. Yes. We always want to stay on, don't we? Huh? When we get banged up, we just want to get up and show we're hard. But the reality is, it's better to let other people take these decisions.
Have the faith, work hard, I still want the ball moved.
Let's listen in as Garrett John instructs Canada.
Right, keep spreading them. Right. Think of a goal here. Right, think of where we're going to go. Right, think what's on in about 2 hours' time. Right, keep the ball moving. Don't stop that destruction. Keep the attitude. Nobody crosses the line. Nobody's crossing our line. We keep scoring. Keep moving the ball.
So Canadian team coach Garrett John and also Kieran Crowley offering up some advice. Getting back to head assessment there, Fred, when you were a player, was there like a word of the day, things like that, that a trainer would, if you got a head knock, it was a kind of a quick little quiz they could give you to.
Well, with Canada, we didn't, but when I played in New Zealand, yes, they had little written tests that they made you do in the beginning of the year, and what happened is if you got a suspected concussion or a concussion, they would make you take that test over again the next day, and if you didn't perform identically or better on the test, they concluded that you had a concussion. It was actually a difficult test. I felt,
you had to study,
even without a concussion. But yeah, no,
Fred's
they
just fine.
They had systems. Yeah, they had systems. They've New Zealand, I think, has been on the up and up on that for years.
I think the truth of the matter is that he passed it when he had the concussion, and he didn't.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's looking better. What's going on? O'Shane Eddy, no ill effects from that head knock either, as he gets Jamaica underway here, kicking it to Canada. It's Mack out to Hearn. Thought Hearn had left the field. Now it's Hassler.
There goes Hassler on the wing.
He's got the Jets on. And boom, he connects with O'Shane Eddy again. These guys are just attracted to each other from a tackling perspective. A penalty against Jamaica, and now the ball spinning out wide. Nyanyak Dalla, the captain, trying his hand at chipping, and maybe he shouldn't. That wasn't the best of kicks there, as number 8, Kenneth Walker, comes up with it. It's going to be a 5-meter scrum as Jamaica took that across the line.
You know what I'm seeing is Hassler sure loves contact, eh?
Yeah,
being
that's
a
his
running
football
back, and
yeah.
we see a little chip kick, grubber by Nyanyak.
Yeah, there's certain guys in the field that were never allowed to touch the ball when you play like that, and that's. No, it wasn't a terrible kick, but it needed a little more length on it.
Oh, I think he should have just powered through. He had about 7 meters to go. He could have powered through, being Nyanyak. He's a strong guy. Just, do like Hassler, basically.
O'Shane Eddy making some great use of that penalty situation against Canada from the scrum. Ball staying alive. Great hookup from number 1, Andrew Fong, the captain of Jamaica. And now that ball, a little soccer skill there from Jamaica. Nyanyak Dalla's got the ball one-on-one, gets to his feet, and that ball gets knocked forward, but a penalty not releasing the tackler before he could get up.
We've got O'Shane Eddy here that took a serious licking from Moonlight.
So that's the second big contact there.
I'd call it a blindside hit. O'Shane got rid of the ball, and Moonlight had him zeroed in. I think we'll see it right here. Oh, yeah. Little pass, bang.
Oh, yeah.
That was what we call it, finishing a tackle.
Yeah, and Moonlight, that's a physics experiment right there. Hearn now looking to pass right. Ball goes to ground. Duke couldn't quite get to it. Jamaica will pick that up. Swats back. That's Fong. And now Donald Walters gets spun around, and in the process lost possession of the ball. Advantage being played. None gained with Sean Duke in possession. So technically a forward pass, and so it's going to be scrum for Canada. Great spot, and this is Pierce where they pull out the set piece play.
So absolutely, Canada now would just try and close out this game. They haven't scored in the second half yet, and we need to see one.
Hearn's breaking a tackle right there.
Set. Have it in.
And Jamaica's stolen that against the head. Rare thing indeed. Walters considering his options. Delayed pass, hook up to the outside now. Plenty of Canadian defenders to keep that ball off the ground. Hearn's trying to turn the Jamaican player around.
Still moving, we're still moving. Now use it, Black. All right, it's not coming. Red scrum.
So Canada will get the scrum. Jamaica took it in, and they weren't able to use it, Pierce.
And what you saw there is Jamaica started to make the passes. Canadians cut down the space they could operate in, and eventually they took them into contact and kept them from releasing the ball. So good work by Canada in defense.
Fred, I think Jamaica's firmed up their game plan a little bit in the second half. Canada's been not firing on all cylinders.
Well, I kind of predicted that. I thought Jamaica did very well to get to this position, but at the same time, I didn't think they were going to be necessarily a match for Canada. There's unforced errors like we see right here. And,
Kenneth Walker dropping the ball, number 8 for Jamaica.
And they're not maximizing their speed. They're almost like half running. They got to use what they're good at in its speed. They got to test the Canadians on the outside if they want to have a shot. But, I think that all around, the Canadian speed is probably better as a team. So it makes it very difficult for the Jamaicans.
Canada ready to ring the changes as we see Chauncey O'Toole and Harry Jones and Sean White getting ready to come on the field along with Tyler Ardron, a bit of size. So they're going to change 4 of the 7 there in a moment, next chance they get. And a dummy pass fooling Hassler. He goes for a bit of a late tackle on Walter. Duke back there, and I think they're going to call for the late tackle. And there could be a card coming here as captain is being called in.
Captain, okay. Would you like the penalty up here, or would you like the penalty down there? Up here, okay.
Okay, so no card talk
Here's
there.
the mark here, okay.
See,
Lay it on the
we were just talking about that. They tried to go to the outside, put a bit of pressure, and look at Canada goes on their back foot. And that's what Jamaica needed to do from the start. You know, that would have helped their situation.
So as soon as this penalty is realized by Jamaica and the potential scoring, now the player taken out there as he was coming through, and there's been another penalty there, so a bit of a crunch on the Jamaican.
Yes, indeed.
Pass.
Good idea there, a good little piece of skills.
Here's the mark.
If he had gone through that gap, that was a try.
Hilton trying to chase his own ball there as Canada's bench ready to come on the field. Fong gets that outside to Orlando Jones.
Okay.
Drop ball.
Nothing's gonna come, all right? It'll be a scrum.
So now you'll see all the players for Canada coming on. 4 coming on at once. You don't see that too much in sevens.
The full bench.
Yeah.
That's I don't think Jamaica is going to be happy to see those 4 guys coming on.
No, that's a lot of size.
Because we have so much skills in Canada that, you know, these 4 guys are almost as good as the 4 coming off. So, you know,
something I'd like to say we should watch here is this, is watch the engagement by Canada into the scrum. Each scrum, the set is an invite to engage, but Canada went in and drove back over the mark immediately into the scrum. So, and the referee let them, which is interesting. You see this one here now.
Hassler getting a warm round of applause along with John Moonlight, Connor Trainer, and who's the other one? Phil Mack has come off, I think, at the back of the line for Sean White. Yeah, so he's just walking around the in-goal area behind the play. Now Canada trying to get out of a jackpot here behind their own line.
Here they go.
Jones getting out outside.
Oh yeah, watch this.
Now here's Duke. First chance to really unveil it now. Hearn. Will he have the gas to go 70 meters? He might. But boy, he has got one of the speedsters from Jamaica on his tail, Odell Hyman. But Hearn will win that race as he gets a late tackle there. And that was maybe a bit unnecessary as he came across the line.
Penalty right there.
Yeah, so tomahawk being called on Odell Hyman, so they'll assess that from the kickoff, I guess?
Yep.
Well, no,
yeah,
I think he just gave him a warning. I don't believe
you think?
Yeah, I think he just gave him a warning.
Because the referee was indicating the try, which could look like a penalty depending which way he was standing.
But Doug, you mentioned it. If there was to be a penalty, what happens is Canada starts off in the center with their own ball. Yeah.
So full time is done. 14 minutes gone. So there's not going to be another kickoff as Braid puts it through the post, and so 31-0 win here for Jamaica. You could call it convincing, but I think Jamaica had a lot to offer in the second half. Only Canada scoring only 1 try really there.
Yes, they did. They put pressure.